In front of us is Peyton Reed, director of the Ant-Man trilogy at Marvel Studios, and of course, the third film, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Hello, Peyton.
Hello, hello.
Very happy to talk with you.
Likewise.
First thing first, I want to say congratulations for the world premiere and the release of the film in just a few days, right?
Yes, we're getting close.
Let's proceed to the first question. My first question is, Quantumania has more serious tone if we compare it with the first one and the second one, obviously. So it's really different. You have difficulties and maybe challenges when making Quantumania?
Well, we got to make a third Ant-Man movie, and we knew if we were going to do that, we wanted to shake things up. And part of that is expanding the palette of this movie. We really wanted to put Scott and Hope into some really dire situations and to put them up against a villain unlike anybody that they had ever encountered in the MCU. Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Comics is just one of the all-time great villains. I loved that villain as a kid reading the comics. So I talked to Kevin Feige about this idea and introducing Kang. And Kang made perfect sense to kick off Phase 5 for the MCU as the next great villain. And part of it was also figuring out how he works into the Ant-Man situation. You know, why would Ant-Man and Wasp be the first Avengers to encounter Kang the Conqueror? And it made sense. The quantum realm made sense. We knew in this movie, we'd set up things in the first two movies about the quantum realm. And we wanted to take the audience down into the quantum realm, deeper into the quantum realm than they'd ever been, and really see what it was like. To answer the question of what Janet Van Dyne's life was like down there, but also the possibility of maybe Janet had a previous encounter with Kang the Conqueror down there. That seemed like an exciting idea to us, and maybe whatever happened between the two down there, it did not end well for either of them. And now they find themselves back in the quantum realm, and Janet, who has really not told her family about any of this, is now forced to confront her past and deal with Kang the Conqueror and all the things that have happened since she left the quantum realm. That struck us as a really great idea, but it also takes our characters, and Scott Lang in particular, you know, who's always thought of, I think, as comic relief. Yeah, we wanted to beat Scott Lang up a little bit, and we wanted to sort of take him into some darker territory. So that's another exciting thing about this movie that I think makes it different than the first two.
Yes, and that's really shocked people, including me, like Ant-Man facing off with Kang the Conqueror. And can you tell us the behind-the-scenes story, how you choose and why you choose Kang as the villain in the third movie?
Kang made sense for us because he'd never been brought into the MCU, and is one of the all-time great villains. But for us, it really felt like this is if you saw on paper that Kang the Conqueror is going up against Ant-Man and Wasp, you're probably going to bet on Kang. So it felt like a really great story challenge for us to how do we construct a story where these heroes even have a chance of defeating this time-traveling, multiverse-hopping villain? That seemed like a really fun thing for us. But also to really discover who this character is in relation to this backstory that exists with Janet Van Dyne. We got to answer both questions in one fell swoop, right? What happened to Janet in the quantum realm, and who is Kang the Conqueror? And when you bring Jonathan Majors into the mix playing Kang, it's very exciting because he is a phenomenal performer, and he gives Kang the weight and the gravitas and the physicality that villain needed. So this movie is full of challenges, but we surrounded ourselves with this team of brilliant artists, visual effects artists, and of course, an incredible cast. And we wanted to make this the biggest and best and most unexpected Ant-Man movie of them all.
Before we talk about Quantum Realm, and this is the first time Quantum Realm is fully shown and becoming the background in the movie. So I know Quantum Realm is from Microverse, right, from the comic. So how you convert the Microverse into the Quantum Realm, the new realm in the MCU?
Well, you know, we one of the first things we did was look at some of the old comics. You know, not only Avengers comics, but Fantastic Four comics. Anytime those Marvel Comics heroes went down into the Microverse, and you know, most of that stuff was started in the early '60s, and they would encounter like the Lizard Men of Talk or whatever it was, and so we decided we wanted to wanted to give our artists and our writer Jeff Loveness free reign to create the Quantum Realm. And for me, it was a chance to sort of take all these things that I loved as a kid and an adult of, elements of Flash Gordon or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, a dash of Star Wars, or any of these other things, Heavy Metal Magazine from the 70s and 80s, and Mobius and Japanese animation and all of these sort of influences, and really sort of create this very vivid and wild world for these characters to play out this drama in. That was one of the most exciting things to me, because we'd done 2 movies that were set in San Francisco, and we really wanted to mix it up, and we felt like the audience deserved an answer to these questions, and we wanted to take them down and have them live in the quantum realm for a while.
Yes, that's why we are really waiting for Quantum Realm. But this is my last question. Maybe it's in time. Kang is the next big bad guy, of course, but he is still human if we compare it with Thanos. So, what aspect do you want to share in Quantumania about Kang as character? Maybe his human side, his villainous side.
That's a really great question. Thanos, the mad titan, he's something else altogether. And one of the things we really wanted to emphasize, and particularly when Jonathan Majors and I started talking about Kang, is to bring out his humanity. He is just a man. In the comic books, he's from the future. He has 31st century technology. What is that version in this movie? But it was important as we started to work on the screenplay with Jeff Loveness that we tell the story that Kang is a man. And he's a man who is a man out of time, but he's also kind of broken. You and I live in a straight line of past, present, and future, and we experience a lot of things, not all of them good. And we talked about, what if this character has lived all these different, he experiences time sort of as a loop, and he's had all these different experiences. And what would happen to someone like that who experienced trauma and multiple traumas, and the idea that what does connection with other beings or other people mean to someone like that? We have a finite amount of time on Earth, and we form connections, whether it's family connections or, a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a spouse, and like those connections are important to us, and they're really what, give our lives some kind of meaning. What does that mean to Kang, who lives in these loops? Is he able to form connections? And what if one of the most profound connections he ever formed was with Janet Van Dyne, when they were both trapped in the quantum realm, and they were working at a common goal of trying to get out of the quantum realm? What would that look like? That we found intriguing, but you hit the nail on the head, because Kang is a man. He's a person. He's privy to all this advanced technology, and he's able to travel through time and through the multiverse. But he's still just a man, and we wanted to make sure the audience remembered that, and that, the best villains to me are the ones that you understand their agenda, and maybe you even empathize with an aspect of it or how they got there, even while you're rooting against them or think they're bad. But that was important to create a really dimensional antagonist for us.
Okay, Peyton, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Nice talking to you.